I have seen tons of tutorials for the Ant-Man shrinking effect, and most of them are really good, except they get one thing wrong. Let me explain. So when making this effect, most tutorials will do something like this. You cut out your subject and scale it down. Then for the trails, they'll duplicate that, add an edge detect, and then use some kind of echo or trails effect, and then add that on top of the original. Now don't get me wrong, this is a really cool effect, but it's not actually what we see in the movies. So most tutorials are based off of this shot here, which is the first time Ant-Man shrinks. Now at first glance, the trails do look like outlines of him, but if we look at bright parts like his helmet and belt, we can see that those are solid. So if we look at other shots from the movies, we get a better idea of what's going on, and we see that it's just the bright areas that are staying behind. So with all that out of the way, here's how to make the Ant-Man effect the right way. Alright, so I have this footage here where I'm pretending to press the button and shrink down. And then I have this clean plate here. So what I'm going to do in this footage is find the part where I want to start shrinking, about there. Then I'm going to open up the speed change and hit freeze frame. So now everything after here will be frozen. I'm just going to bring this up a layer and bring my clean plate under that. So now I can cut this right here, select these, make it a new fusion clip, and go into fusion. So first off, I want to bring this to the viewer by hitting 2. So that's my background. So I'm going to hit F2 and rename that BG. So this one is me. So now we need to isolate this from the background. So I'm going to bring down a polygon node and begin masking myself out. It's a little tedious, but it's only for one frame, so it's not too bad. Alright, so now that I have that done, I can plug that into my footage. So now if we look at the merge, we have me sitting on the chair, but we can move me around independently. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a transform, and then bring down the pivot to where I should be shrinking from, which is going to be where I'm sitting. I'm going to put a keyframe on the size, and then go maybe 7 frames later, and shrink it down. In the spline tab, I'm going to click transform, click this to fill the screen, and I'm just going to select all of them and hit F. We can also go into the settings and turn on motion blur. We may need to bring up the quality to maybe 5 or 6. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this and paste it over here. So now we have a duplicate of it. So now what I can do is before the transform, I'm going to add a luma keyer. Bring that to the viewer and just play around with that till I just have the brightest parts. Then this transform, I'm going to turn off motion blur. Next, I'm going to add the trails tool. So if I press play, you can see it's making copies of it as it goes along. Now you may also notice that when I go back to the first frame, I still have my things. So with this tool, whenever you make changes, you have to hit restart. So to make them fade out under the gain, I'm going to change it to 0.85. Now we have this kind of ghosting effect that we're looking for. So I'm going to hit restart and plug that over our original. Then I'm just going to change the apply mode to screen. So everything got brighter. So on this first frame, I'm going to bring down the blend to 0, add a keyframe, go 1 frame forward, and bring the blend up. And again, whenever you make changes, hit restart. So now I have me shrinking with the little ghosting effect, just like in the movies. And if you want to learn more Marvel VFX, then check out this video where I show you how to make the Doctor Strange shields all in DaVinci Resolve.